Check, check, check. Mic check, mic check. What's up, people? Man, I wish I was as cool as Larry and had the what's up, good people. What's up, good people? How we doing? Hello, Christy. What's up, Tony? Wars09. Hello, how are you? Hopefully everybody's doing okay. So, what's going on, Power Crypto? Mark and Heather, Salish, Ace. What's up, brother? How we doing? I hope everybody's okay, having a good evening. I had a little time and wanted to get a YouTube video out. I didn't get one out today. So I love coming on live with you all. You know that by now. What's up, Ace? Mr. Clutch. Hopefully everybody had a pretty decent day. Um, so I'll wait a few minutes, man. See if any more people come in. Uh, there's 21 of you beautiful people. And why does that not shrink down? I don't get it. Did anybody get Suey with me a few days ago when we were talking about it? This was a good patient entry. Mr. T, Eric A, Jose, Eric A. Okay, brother. Okay. Um, Mr. T, ask talk ask about coin earnings tomorrow if it follows Hood. They were up 19% after earnings. Thanks, man. Okay. I don't know if anybody was on with me the other night. I was telling you I was taking a Sui position. I was re-entering. Um, that's up pretty handsomely. If we go to the daily on Sui, I thought this was a good way to tell everybody and show everybody um, some patience and how patience can pay. Mr. T, I will ask Josh about that, brother. And if you want to at me in the Discord tomorrow morning or later on, I'll try. Coin was up nicely in after hours tonight with Hood. Ace, watching the daily RSI and just got or daily RSI and MACD because the last pop I got was this bad boy on this big sell-off down here, and I had this level listed perfectly. Do you guys see on the daily we got a MACD cross on crossing the signal line. So that's I anticipated this, so this was an early entry. If you see, we got three. What's up, Brian? Yep. Pasty is right. Earnings are always a lotto trade. You can take better educated guesses, I suppose, but if any earnings can be a lotto trade, though, you might as well. It's a roll of the dice. I just wanted to hit Suey with you. So you see, you know, the last price action from back here in November, we started getting bearish divergence. Now there was by the daily. You see on the MACD, same thing. RSI. You had all this upward price action with downward buying pressure. This was a great example, and this is daily chart. Oh my God, Maggie, honey. Oh Lord. This is a cat here, guys. This is a cat. Say hi, Mags. Woo! Hey, go on, girl. Oh no, Justin. Is it lagging? Am I okay? Yeah, Mags is huge. Did I did I lag out or am I okay? I'm hurrying. Hang on, guys. I'm hurrying. Hang on, guys. Seems like it's okay now. Sorry, fellas. Bye-byes taking off. Yeah. So for any people that's, when you start doing swings and going longer term, watching the daily MACD can produce some flips, can produce some good returns. I started picking this up at 280. It's 360 now. So with a sizable investment, that's a pretty good return. If anybody caught that. Hey, what's up, shit? What's going on? So let's go look at today. I was with Josh this morning. We had that big sell off today. This was my structure this morning. I had structure because this was the bottom of pre-market here. I also got a line in the sand at 597.70. If anybody wants to mark that on your chart, that broken dot. Now, been a few people asking me about Turbo Trader on SPY. I used it some today. I'm going to use it some tomorrow, and then I'll probably do a video on it. I know a few people that's doing some one-on-ones have been asking about it, so it was fast. I will say I couldn't quite figure out yet how to set a stop loss. Do what? How to set a stop loss on it. So I'm gonna do that tomorrow. But I made the purchases and the sales. Like if you just want to get in and out at market, it was really quick. You have to set certain parameters when you add turbo options. It was really easy to do. You can just come to whatever block you want to come to here or here. And any of these blocks on Weeble have those three lines on them, right? Here, here. You can replace that with any kind of widget that you want to replace with, right? So I'm gonna use it some again tomorrow, and then I'll probably do a video on it. Well, for anybody that's interested, it made getting in the trade really quick, getting out of the trade really quick. I just got to figure out how to set a couple of numbers for stop losses and how I want to do that though. I feel you, Zachary. Is it lagging again? Let me shut trading view down then. I don't know if I've got too many charts. Maybe I got too many charts open. Okay. I'm trying, guys. I'm trying. I may have to get another PC. I'm about 3 years on it on this Mac Mini. It's under a big load when you run the streaming software and then two charting softwares with it, and I'm live streaming to you guys through YouTube. It may need more RAM. I'm not sure. Anyhow, SPY this morning, uh, we had calls right out of the gate that played pretty good, and it never cleared. Um, yeah, today I had support at 597.50 and resistance at 600. All day long it played over 600. If you took my level at all, once it cleared here, you had a point and a half. It back tested it once, and then you had another 3 points, back tested again, and you had 4.5 points. So that level played pretty good, guys. If anybody took it, I don't know if anybody took it or not. Um, I told you at 3 o'clock, 604.50 was resistance. Look here, 604.50 got pounded 2 times, 3 times. It's trying to break. What's the nighttime session doing? It's still it's still lagging right there. 604.50 is what we got to get over next. So if you want to mark that on your chart, it's probably a good idea. One reason I wanted to go long out of the gate this morning, and Josh did too, was this when we got that data this morning and you had this big sell off. This RSI got ridiculous oversold. Even like on a 30-minute, this was screaming take calls out of the gate. So if you played my 600 level, you did very well today. You did very well. Going into tomorrow, and then I'll look at some comments, guys. 604.50, then 605.70. That's what we got to clear. Over 605.70, there's not a lot of structure to get us back to 608. So those are pretty good numbers, I think, man. I kind of thought we may have done another one of these downfalls, especially after whatever day this was, 2/7. It looked like this was going to flush back down and get another test of these lows down here, but they pretty much tested 3 times and held. So ultimate support for me is 589 area, 589 in that neighborhood. Going into tomorrow, does somebody say we got PPI coming out tomorrow? I feel you, Hawkins. I feel you. um, yeah, Justin. I don't think it's not uh it's it's the RAM, the ability for how many things it can run. I mean, I use it for I do audio recording like for music, and it keeps it just fine. I really don't struggle with lag, but I'm running 3 monitors and 2 charting softwares and live stream. I mean, I bogged it. It's bogging. It's heavily loaded for sure. I probably need I don't even remember how much RAM this has got. Eight or it may just be 8 gigs of RAM. Not sure. So, but I'm an Apple guy. I love Macs. I love Macs, iPhones, iPads. It says Spy Lord. It is me. PPI 830 Hawk. So we'll see in the morning what kind of reaction it gets. Um, and go off, we'll have to gauge pre-market then. What did anybody have any questions on anything? Is there some new people in here? Any newbies that want to see like how we set our mornings up? Um, or if anybody's got any questions, I'm happy to help. What's up, Wars New? Okay, man. Warso9. WRSO9. I don't know what to call you, but I'm glad you're here. So if you're new here to what I do, I trade uh options on the SPY. Like we narrow our focus here. We are starting to pepper in a few things slowly. In sure, Bray, and I will do my best to. So we do Nvidia sometimes, Apple, Amazon, and I think tomorrow I may do the Qs. A few people have asked for that QQQ. Ah, Jose Guevara, man, I'm so proud of you, bro. I'm super proud of you. I've watched you on here for quite a while, paper trading, and then look at you, man. You're killing it. I missed when Josh explained his to use the RSI. Could you explain that? Okay, this the do you like trading view? Fate, yeah, no, and in a few instances, yes. I like trading view because of a few of the tools it provides. Most importantly, the fixed range volume profile is if I come back here and catch the last 2 days, I like this tool in TradingView because Weeble has it. I don't like their version of it. I don't know. I don't like how it's set up. Somebody told me they updated it to a fixed range now, so I need to check it out. But I've got used to this. This is how I can find my levels. This is how I find some of my levels, anyways. This is how I'm able to see, I'm able to see this is resistance ahead of us, and that this is telling me I need to clear 605.50. Here's the POC at 605 for this area. You know, it just has some other tools that Weeble does not have. Overall, I have grown accustomed to the look and feel of Weeble better, but TradingView has few more bells and whistles if you're able to spend time learning them. Uh, and that takes just hopping in and switch over from. Yeah, there's just certain things I like to do on TradingView, and then I do all my trading on Weeble though. But there's certain things on charts that I like to do on TradingView, and it is definitely a more in-depth uh, platform for charting. No doubt about it. No doubt about it. I like the look of the MACD better. I like how it shades in, especially on higher time frames. Like let's look at the daily on the SPY. You can see shading in lighter. Same on the opposite spectrum when it's bearish pressure. And yeah, it's just different tools, different tool bag. But overall, I trade on Weeble. Okay. Brian said, "Can you explain confluence?" Okay, Brian. Confluence is when more than one indicator is pointing me in the same direction. That is confluence. It is just to say that I have multiple things. Um, it's when I have multiple things leading me in a direction. Okay. And this will cover Minky's question too with the RSI, or somewhat anyways. And we're on a smaller time frame here. Um, so sorry guys, my other iPad out here. Okay. This morning we had CPI data, right? The market did not like it. Um, the market sold off hard right at 8:35. You know, within a few minutes of getting the data, the market sold off hard. This is the RSI. This is buying pressure, selling pressure is how I label it. Josh broke it down into percentages this morning when he explained it, like exactly, Zachary, I feel you. The simpler the better. The simpler the better on charting, especially when you're day trading. Like if you want to get a little complex, do it when you're finding bigger time frame levels, and you can get better measurements that way. When I'm day trading or shorter time frames, I want simple, simple, simple. Um, in saying that, I want, after we got this sell off this morning, the RSI, the relative strength indicator, has default settings at two parameters. Okay, under that, that's why you can see it easier on TradingView. On the upper end, you see the two dotted lines here and down here, right? This is 30, this is 70. Once the RSI reaches 70 and above, it is considered overbought. Once the RSI reaches 30 and below, it is considered oversold. And only that amount of, I think Josh said it, only that percentage of people were left of buyers there or something, or sellers at the bottom, or vice versa, if I'm saying that right. He divided it into percentages. I'm just telling you the easiest way to say this is it is buying pressure and selling pressure, and that moves the MACD for you. That's like the wind behind the sails of the MACD, and that starts giving you direction. Okay, so Confluence this morning was saying this this is oversold, even on the 5 minute, even on the 30 minute. Go back to this morning, even on the 30 minute. See how it shades in under 30? It starts shading darker right here. This is under 30. It starts shading it in. It's telling you it's not going to remain down here. Even on, I think the 1 hour got 230. Oh no, the 1 hour also got oversold. Look here. 4 hour probably got to 30. Got awfully close. What did it get? 34. So a 1 hour time frame is a pretty strong time frame for intraday. This is telling you the price action has to either cool off and let this RSI bleed back to the upside some, or it can drift back up and the price action can consolidate and before this could reach back up to 40 or 50 and then more sellers come in and push it back down. Okay. This was telling me this morning on a shorter time frame, the 5 minute to be exact, is what I use when we start out the day, that we had to, we were probably going to pop because this was so oversold. Now, when this starts moving back up off of its lows, this MACD also gave a signal line cross right here. See it right there? On this very first candle, it gave a signal line cross. And this RSI was starting to move upwards. That's confluence. That's two things that are in confluence telling me the price action is going to go back to the upside some. The third confluence and fourth confluence I get are the bodies of my candles have to start closing above VWAP. That is my white line on my chart, VWAP. Volume weighted average price. It acts as throughout the day, it will act as support and resistance for you. If you're above it and price comes back to it, oftentimes it will bounce there. It'll people will step in and take positions from VWAP. There's stronger support there at this line. It's a measurement that gives you a good that an average of buyers are at or average of price action is at, I guess, volume. So if you simply played VWAP today, when you broke it was a move. When you retested it was another move. When you retested it here was another move. It acted as support today. If we're above VWAP, we're bullish. If we're below it, we're bearish. So uh, another indicator I use is the 9 EMA. So I like to keep it simple. Once this told me we were oversold, the MACD flipped upwards, gave me a signal line flip. The price action got above VWAP and above the 9 EMA. There's four confluences telling me price action is coming back up. Price action is going to move back to the upside. So there's four things. I want at least a couple things telling me I can take risk. I'm not just taking risk for no reason. Only time I take risk for with no indicators is that I have defined a support area from times past that acts as support, which can break. It's not saying it's going to again, but odds are it will for a while. Otherwise, I've got to have confluence. I've got to have indicators telling me, hey, this looks like it's going this way, or it looks like it's going that way. So if that explains, hopefully that it's just an easy word that people use for different things, but it's used in the trading community as having multiple indicators pointing you in the way that it's showing you. Okay. Bats, these two down here, this is the MACD, this is the RSI. Those are the two things that I was just reviewing. Yannick, I don't usually use nighttime price action. I turn it off once I wake up tomorrow, I'll turn it off. I look at it a little bit throughout the night. If something wild happens, I kind of want to know, but most of the time there's not much volume in it. Yes, Zachary. And if you go like over to trading view, you know, these things change on different time frames. So you have to, if you're using 5 minute candles for entries and defining how you're trading, it's good to use 15, 30, and 1 hour to get confluence for direction of which way these are going. So uh, if this MACD pointed me up the whole way to here on the 5, let's see here. Let's get to 15. Let me get to 15 for you. Okay. The 15 will take a lot of the noise out. So when I'm trading off the 5, I'll look to the 15 and 30 for direction. And the 15 and 30 says I can hold this trade longer. It tells me, hey, price action is moving up, up, up. Whereas if I'm playing 2 or 3 minute candles, I might get shook out. And if I got a good entry, I can ride this and it can guide me into holding my position longer. Okay. And you want RSI to be above 50 starts putting you into bullish territory. These things change on different time frames though. So it's a little bit tricky. I like to use larger time frames to show me more direction. If I'm trading on smaller time frames, I want to use a bigger time frame to say, hey, I can see up the road a little ways. Okay. Once you have the confluence for duration, what? Once the candle break, morning structure. Evangel, you can. Christian, I'll get your question. Evangel, you can use uh yeah, 1 minute. If you use 1 minute to get in, you're gonna have to use 1 minute to get out. If you feel like you have found a good trend, I'll drop down to 2 minutes sometimes to start seeing, because if a two does this, I'll say, okay, did the three follow suit? If the three if the three broke over a line for me, well, is the five going to follow? And oftentimes it don't. So you'll get chopped around and you'll get knocked out of trades all the daggone time. So if you're using ones and twos, you just need to be prepared that you got to take profits quicker. So in those cases, like, you have to have larger position size, and you better be right when you're making those moves. And if you're wrong, you end up in the red. But uh, ones and twos are hard to. It's hard to trade until you got some experience. It's harder for me still. I'll get chopped around on a one or a two. It's pretty difficult. Uh, I ain't saying you can't. Some people do, and some people do it well. But the 5 minute, the 10, and the 15 can hold you in a trade longer and keep you from getting shook out, and it can take some noise out for you. If I've got a 30 minute pointing me upwards, you know, I don't the 1 minute might go from 30 to 70 on the RSI and then back again, while the 15 or something is still showing me upwards direction. I don't have to exit my trade. I can stay in my trade. with less volatility and with less getting shook out all the time. Yeah, Zachary. 1 minute. If you've decided on the 5 minute you like something, you can go down to the 1 minute and say, I'm pulling the trigger here, and then I'll switch back to the five. You can do that. I agree with that. Otherwise, when I use the five, uh, people struggle with entry. People struggle with entry, and uh, entry must be. You have to assume risk with your entry, and it's hard to buy. This was the top of morning structure. This was the bottom of pre-market. These two lines, okay? If I shade this in for you, you'll see here. Now, let me show you something. Unless you were ready to get in on the first candle because we were oversold, so it made sense to me today to get in early for a pop. Uh, Otherwise, this first break out of morning structure was a fake out. Came back, we came back into morning structure, diced around, then we broke it again. This was a more confirmed move. I will take the trade oftentimes on the crossing of the line, and I won't hold it unless the next candle can continue. If this next candle sucks back down in, I'll let my stop loss kick me out at pretty much break even. But I go back and I look, and my MACD is showing me upward direction, upward direction. Mentally, move this just a little. And I need to change the color of VWAP. Trading view. It's hard to make yourself mentally buy this candle, right? Why would I buy it? Well, I bought it because it was the top of morning structure. And I define that because it's the third 5 minute candle. I marked the top of it. And generally, the majority of the time, that's the top of morning structure. This was perfect entry. Confirmed entry was this candle because you reclaimed VWAP. This basically tested VWAP is all this did. It couldn't really confirm under it, so it just tested it and moved right back above it. So it's hard to take entry here, but this here made good sense to me to take it on the cross above this structure right here. Oh, I got a thumbs down. Thanks. Maybe it was an accident. So, anyways, yeah, entry is clutch. That's a fact. Entry is way more important than exit, oftentimes because entry entry will dictate whether I can afford to stay in a trade or not. On an option, faith, that's not a bad idea. Hold it for seconds. Yeah, Evangel, I totally get what you're saying. You can do that. When if you're good at executing your trades, or executing your orders in and out, people get in a rhythm. You can trade 1, 2, 3 minute candles. You can do it. I do it. I still do it sometimes. Um, so let me drop or pop tomorrow out of the gate. Jason, I would rather answer that after, when pre-market opens, and see what kind of pre-market levels we got. There's no way to know that right now. No, I'd just be 50-50. I don't have a clue. I think it's gonna depend on PPI data at 8:30, and then I'll define levels after that. Kobe, did that answer your question? I hope that what I just said answered it. Can you explain your entry? Um, can you explain your entry when you enter a trade option like that doji on VWAP? I guess you're talking about this candle there. So on an option, the price of this was at 600.60. I would have been looking at like 601 or 602 calls for the same day. That's what I would have been looking at, more than likely. And the way I'm setting up my Weeble now, if I'm gonna practice more tomorrow. I usually do it on my phone, but either way you want to do it, if you bring your Turbo Trader options up on Weeble, let me detach it once and I'll show you. Remove turbo options. Okay. This is how it comes set up for your buy and sell orders. This is just for shares, I guess. You come to, I put mine on this block, hit these lines, and it says add a widget. I wanted to add Turbo Trader options. So now there's another drop down tab for Turbo Trader options. Okay. And then the thing with Weeble, you go in and put the expiration date right here. So I'll do tomorrow's. And you can have 10 strikes listed. Um, you could just do calls, you could just do puts. Uh, if you do calls and puts, it divides it. Here's your calls, here's your puts. Now the bid parameter, we're trading 0 DTEs. I have to put in like, I'll say between dot 50 cents, and usually the SPY, you might be looking at contracts up to, I don't know, 250. You put those parameters in, and it's going to bring you up the calls between that neighborhood and the puts between those bid prices. Then you have to come down here and you set, okay, every time I buy one of these, and I always do market orders only on the SPY. There's only a penny or two difference in the bid and the ask in the spread. Okay, so I don't care. I just want in the trade. If you're buying 5 contracts at a time or 2 contracts at a time, okay, you just set that. You change this manual input to market. The same over here, manual input to market. Now, whenever I go up here and choose my option, I'll have, if I'll be looking at a 606 or a 605 at this point, I'll just choose it. I get ready to buy. I got my chart here. I'm watching the price action. As this thing comes down to my level that I'm wanting, let's say, the red line is the 200. If you've been with me, I use the 9 and the 200. So the 200 often, if you're below it, it'll act as resistance. If you're above it, it can act as support quite often. We reached the 200 here. We rejected. In my mind, I'm thinking, hopefully we retest VWAP at this point. I watch the price come down to VWAP. Sure enough, it comes down to VWAP and the top of morning structure and bounces. While it's doing that, I want to have my finger on the button here because I want to buy when this thing starts. I have to assume risk. I have to say, I'm looking for a bounce here. I'm looking for a bounce here. I was looking for a bounce because the 10 or the 15 was showing me, if it'll stop moving on me, the 10 or the 15 was showing me upwards direction. Even though this pulled back, it showed me upwards direction right here. It didn't cross back under the signal line. So my finger's on the buy button. I want to buy at support or VWAP, one or the other. That's the best entry right in here with my finger on the buy button. I don't want to buy at the top of the second candle. What if it don't go my way? If it don't go my way, my entry was down here at 600.18. This thing's at 6. It's already moved a point. It's already moved a point. If I'm waiting to buy up here and this thing gives me a red candle, it's going to shake you out. You're not going to hold it. You're going to be at a 30, 40%. I mean, you can't hold it. Can't do it unless you're buying way in the money and it's barely moving. So entry is everything. Entry is everything. Hopefully that helps, Kobe. Thank you, Evangel. Good night, Jose. Thanks for being here, brother. Rodolfo, how are you, Rodolfo? Welcome. Lena, can you show how you set your 9 and 200 EMA? Yes, ma'am. Christian, yeah, brother. We got to get you. We got to get you entering on support. Entering on the. You either use an EMA, a VWAP, or a support line for your entry, or you have to wait till a candle is starting to break across a resistance. Christy, that particular trade, how would I exit that particular trade? Well, I will tell you this. I would go off the last reversal right here, and I would have had a line. When that reversed right there at that big wick, I'd say, okay, okay. I'm going to put a horizontal ray right here, right on top of that wick. You could do the body, whatever you feel more comfortable with. But if I do the wick, I notice it also lines me up with the 200 EMA. So I'm gonna go off of that. And if I get my entry close, at least over VWAP, I waited till this candle closed above VWAP, or I bought off of support here, what I thought was support. Okay. 600 has been good support when we're above it. It's been hard resistance when we're below it. So 600 was a great support. When I exit this trade, I'm going to be looking to exit. Heck, I got 600. Let's say I only got this candle at 600.65 or something on this little crap candle. And I run it to the top of the last reversal at 603.40. And that's 2.5 points on a day trade. I'm happy if I've bought 5 contracts to shave 3 right here. I'm out. 3 of them, you know, leave 2 runners, or take 4 and leave 1 runner. And you see it struggled there. Why do you want to hold options through all this mess to get a little bit more? It makes sense to me to exit at a point, at an EMA. The 200 was there on a 5 minute. So the 200 sitting there, I'm saying, hey, it's probably going to be resistance. It's going to give me some trouble. And the last time we got there, it gave trouble. So I bought that reversal, well in profit. Why am I not shaving at what I think is resistance? I should be shaving right there, at least taking some profits. And then I'm not worried about the rest of it. I could let that one runner ride for 30 minutes until it drops. I ain't gonna give it all up, but if it drops back halfway, I'm out because I got profit on most of it. I'm at least going to go to that last. If you've had these ranges where otherwise you got to define what is the last resistance we had. Even if I got to go back a day, I got to go back 2 days. What's the last piece of structure that this showed me was going to give me trouble? Then I should be shaving there. Hopefully that helps. And if I go back to, let's do a 10, um, that was 603.40 that I marked. If I bring this over here to 603.40, looky there, right where this reversed the day before. It's going to come back into play. And it's right on top of the previous day's morning market. Same spot, previous day's pre-market, within 5 or 10 cents. It's bring it back. Christian, man, send me a message. I'm starting to open it up. Starting to open it up. I've got with Christy there one time. We did one-on-one. So the channel's going to be official this week, hopefully. Uh, I've still helped a few people. If you need help, I'll help you. So reach out to me on Discord. If you send me, I do not send anybody messages first, ever. If you tag me in an open chat, I'll talk to you there, or you can at me in the chat and then message me, however you choose to do it. Okay? Be glad to help you. Um, I've helped a few people, got plenty more wanting it. I'll help everybody I can help. So, all right, guys. I guess I'll wrap it there. Unless anybody's got an important question you want to answer, you want to ask, or anything. Starting to get a little late. I'll give you my spiel one time. How many people we got, man? Wow, 56. Sweet, sweet. Thanks for everybody for coming. Um, if you're new, just to go over it again, what I do, thank you, Evangel. What I do is mostly day trade the SPY and a handful of other things we've started adding. It's a great place to start your options journey. Thank you, Clutch. Um, it's if you're interested in learning options, that's kind of what I'm about. Getting you started day trading options on the SPY and the Qs, maybe Apple, Amazon. If you go to the description in the video, the link to the Discord is in there. That is my link Josh gave me. If you'd be interested in subscribing through me, that benefits me personally. That's how I'm able to live stream with you guys every day. And then my tip jars are in there if you're interested in donating. You can do super chat in the YouTube lives now too. So uh, Weeble link is in there. Blowfin link is in there if you're interested in shorting crypto when the winter comes. Get Blowfin. I'm going to do some videos on it. And yeah, if you're interested in supporting, I appreciate it. That's how I'm able to do this every day with you guys. So thank you. And yeah, Brian, I'm gonna do QQQ tomorrow, I think, man. Switch it up a little bit. See if we'll take a stab at it. Some people keep asking for it, so oftentimes it trades identical to the SPY. Sometimes it differs. Today, pretty much the same thing. It retested VWAP. It broke over morning structure here. I guarantee you this setup almost identical. Huge sell-off, oversold RSI, MACD flipped up early in the morning. I would call that, and here's the bottom of pre-market. I would call that my range. This gave you a break over VWAP, a back test of structure, a run up to the 200, a back test of VWAP, and then off to the races. Okay. Thanks, David. Thanks, Brian. Salish, thank you. Thanks for any support, guys. You know how to support me. Go to the description in the video. I'll see you. I'll list the levels in pre-market tomorrow. And I'll see you in the live stream. Be sure to, if you're new, go to Crown Traders on the Discord. Hit notifications for me. I'm Spy Lord in the Discord, so feel free to ask me anything or just tag me. Hit the @ symbol, Spy Lord, tag me, and I will always look back and try to answer everything. Okay. All right. Good night, everybody. I love you. Peace. Love you guys. I really do. Y'all the best. All right. Thanks for hanging, guys. See you in the morning.